Hi, it's me again. The Lord. Woo! YouTube, it's your boy JustDorien. How we doing today? Now, if you couldn't tell by the uncomfortable Michael Myers mask I was wearing in the intro of this video, today we got a reaction video. Today we're reacting to the Halloween multiplayer overview. And what I mean by that, yes, they're dropping a Halloween video game. My Michael Myers fans, rise, yes. Our time is now. I'm very excited for this. I know a lot of Halloween fans are excited for this, some horror fans in general. My bad, I'm trying to get my chain. I know some people's got some discourse over this game, and I'll talk about it at the end of this video. But for now, we just here to enjoy some reaction content on the channel. Alright. Grab your drinks, grab your snacks, kick back and relax. Let's get into the video. Oh snap. Okay. Oh my gosh. Halloween.
Multiplayer in Halloween is a 1v4 asymmetrical horror experience that pits the residents of Haddonfield against the shape of pure evil.
There go that boy Aubrey.
In this quintessential slasher simulator, our playable cast of civilian characters desperately attempt to save their neighbors and themselves from the omnipresent boogeyman who Michael fixates on stalking and slaying his targets.
My gosh.
Halloween provides familiar elements fans of the genre know and love, but we're incredibly excited to pull back the curtain and unveil more details that demonstrate our commitment to delivering our most robust, dynamic, and terrifying multiplayer offering yet. Michael Myers is a methodical killer, and on Halloween night, Haddonfield becomes his hunting ground. The boogeyman's primary desire is to eliminate every living resident in this quiet town. But he also begins each match with a list of special targets that supply greater rewards if killed before time expires. These unfortunate residents are positioned across various sites in the map.
He looks so happy to be... Bro, why he looks so happy? What is he concocting in that witch's brew pot, bro? What is he cooking up? Some freaking... I don't know, some shamrock stew, bro. He look like he might drool in the pot a little bit. He might drool in the pot a little bit.
And Michael players are empowered to use their nightmare suite of abilities to locate, terrorize, and ultimately execute their victims and anyone bold enough to interfere with their bloodthirsty ambition.
They got this man Michael Myers out here hit sticking people like he Brian Urlacher, bro. Are you serious? Come on, bro. You tell me Michael Aubrey Myers was on the Bears, not, D-line back in the day, man? Come on, man. I mean, he really could have. That could have made it a killer defensive line.
Killer Sense allows players to step behind the mask and stalk the residents of Haddonfield. When using this skill and entering the first-person perspective, Michael becomes aggressively aware of his surroundings and the proximity of potential prey. By focusing on targets with murderous intent, Michael builds varying levels of stalk, which aid him in identifying and tracking targets and open increasingly satisfying options for executions.
My gosh.
An effective killer always keeps their victims unaware of their presence until those final fatal moments. While historically Michael Myers isn't known for his speed, fundamental abilities like shape jump amplify the shape's mobility with hauntingly unpredictable results.
I'm too busy listening to the instrumental,
jump,
I'm sorry.
Michael slips into the shadows to move around environments unseen.
What?
Not only does this increase Michael's base movement speed,
Leo, you kind of deserve that, bro. You mean to tell me? Hold on. Let's go back to this part.
Not only does this increase,
you mean to tell me you ain't see that staggering figure at the corner of your eyesight, man? I'll be danged if I ain't see no freaking 7'8", big shoulder brolic stature of a masculine man in my eyesight. I'm getting out of the house.
provides access
He
to
kinda
other powerful
booking it down the
reversal
street,
options,
ain't he?
including Shape Dash, which sends Michael lunging forward with violent momentum.
And Michael can catch up
Shape
like
Jump is
that.
confidently one of the most powerful tools at Michael's disposal and supplies unlimited possibilities for iconic jump scare moments.
Stay cool.
Why did that give me a little bit?
However, that
this
potency
game about
comes
to
with a
be-
few major caveats. Our masked antagonist can only enter and exit Shape Jump while in the cover of darkness or outside a resident's line of sight. The light may provide temporary reprieve for the residents of Haddonfield, but
some
Michael
Dead by
can work to
Daylight?
remove sources of illumination by shutting off lights, cutting power, and even catalyzing temporary blackouts.
Oh, God!
Despite the unquestionable malevolence of Michael Myers, his horrifying homecoming to Haddonfield won't be welcomed without resistance. As the body count climbs and evidence of the boogeyman's presence becomes undeniable, local authorities, residents, and distinct playable civilians
Was
may
that
decide
Robert
to gather
Pattinson?
weapons, and if especially persistent Haddonfieldites do manage to get the upper hand in an exchange, don't worry.
How the hell?
It's not possible.
We've said it once, and we'll say it again. You can't kill the boogeyman.
Oh, that's kind of wild. Survive the
While
night.
Michael swiftly endeavors to turn Haddonfield into a graveyard, our heroic group of civilian characters desperately attempts to save their neighbors and escape the boogeyman's bloodthirst. As a civilian, it's up to
You mean to tell me Michael Myers is one hand, and we've seen some unnatural strength. You mean to tell me Michael Myers is getting ran up on and just getting shoved like that? This ain't a Disney Channel episode. I'm pretty sure if I would have shoved Michael Myers, that man is probably going to hit me with a mean roundhouse. He going to throw the body at me and kill us both.
As a civilian, it's up to you to find fellow Haddonfield residents, convince them of his malicious intent, and guide them safely to one of several possible randomized escapes located around the map before they meet an untimely end. This distinctive cast of playable civilian characters each comes equipped with unique stats, special traits, and signature personalities. To ensure no two matches of Halloween play out the same, our team has constructed a vast playground of possibilities in Haddonfield, offering civilians a multitude of diverse gameplay systems to aid them in achieving their objectives and surviving the night. As civilians navigate these environments, they'll uncover points of interest, revealing resident NPCs, lootable containers, hiding places, telephones, possible escape routes, and more. Thoroughly and cautiously exploring your surroundings could very well mean the difference between life and death. And when death comes to your little town, it's probably not a bad idea to head to your neighbors and contact the local authorities. Civilians are tasked with tracking down surviving residents and warning them of the looming threat. Successful conversations with residents can permit civilians to request additional calls to police, commands to find secure hiding places, or companionship as they navigate the formerly peaceful streets of Haddonfield.
Should we stick together? Maybe we're better as a team.
Whether it's a local family friend
This
or the
is
authorities,
love.
there's safety in numbers. Once the innocent residents of Haddonfield have been located and persuaded, it's time for the civilians to plan their harrowing escape.
This game is actually looking live, y'all. Like, I understand the scrutiny Gun Interactive has been under, but this game is looking live. You can't sit here and tell me Gun is not horror fans. I appreciate Gun 100% for at least on basis making a good idea come to fruition. That is 100% truthful. I like some of the mechanics because I've been quiet a little bit in terms of like gameplay. I know I've been doing the jokes and stuff, but like some gameplay mechanics, especially for the survivors and Michael, it's looking like it's gonna be some skill-based matchmaking that needs to be made. Especially when it comes to those like button commands, because it said, you know, when Michael had you on the grasp and you got a pocket knife, I think you got a time limit or you got to beat Michael's output in terms of how quick can you use the pocket knife before he quickly executes a kill animation. Like, this is going to require some skill. And I'm getting a lot of Friday. I feel like this was the game I think Gun Interactive always wanted to truly make. If you ask me, I'll come back to this point at the end of the gameplay, but I feel like this is the game Gun always wanted to make.
Lootable containers scattered throughout the map contain weapons, distractions, and key items that can be used to unlock and access a variety of possible escape routes. The location of these items and escapes changes from match to match, so civilians greatly benefit from adjusting their strategies based on the objects uncovered. It's also worth noting that initiating these escape sequences generates a tremendous amount of noise, which will alert Michael to your exact location. So what happens in the likely event that a civilian becomes another display of Michael's wretched, inhumane nature? Well, their Haddonfield story isn't over just yet. Even in death, they can support their friends and even return as a sheriff's deputy or the unrelenting Dr. Loomis.
I shot him 6 times!
Once they've re-emerged upon the streets of Haddonfield, they can cooperate with the remaining civilians and responding officers to try and put a stop to Michael's murderous rampage.
Freeze where you are, Michael. You're coming with me.
While he can't be killed with enough community resistance, the proper equipment, and sheer manpower, he can be detained and shipped back to Smith's Grove Sanitarium.
You mean... Look at how Michael was sitting in the back of that cop car. You acting like Michael in the back of the cop junk can't just simply go... choke. Like, what?
Halloween is a legendary film with a genre-defining legacy, and our mission has been to bring the film's unsettling sense of dread to our asymmetrical horror sandbox. By empowering players to control the tension and stage the scares, we're building a multiplayer experience designed with replayability.
Do you actually have to shoot him 6 times?
We'll have more details to share regarding character progression, character traits, customization, proximity chat, and more thrilling gameplay features in the coming months. But we can't wait for all of you to join us when Halloween launches on September 8th, 2026.
Yeah! Alright, this game is looking live. This game is looking live. As a Halloween fan, I'm loving everything I'm seeing. I'm sorry. I'm loving everything I'm seeing. This is one of those games. And big shout out, because when I say this is one of them games on the channel that I want to play, but I don't know how far I'm willing to take it on this channel, because there's a YouTuber named Ghost Wolf Games. I enjoyed his gameplay of Friday the 13th, the game, and that's kind of what I want to do with this game, but I don't know. It might be something I want to see. I'm building credibility as a somewhat horror let's player. Would y'all say so? But in all seriousness, I think, back to my point earlier, I think this is the game Gun Media wanted to make. And here's why I'll say that. I think, well, first and foremost, I think Friday the 13th, the game, was one of the 2 games they wanted to make. And this is where the discourse with Gun comes in, okay? I believe people dislike Gun Interactive because of what happened with Texas Chainsaw the game. And they even go as far as to latch them for the reason why Friday the 13th, the game, flopped. And a lot of blame also goes to Ilphonic on their parts for associating themselves with Gun. Because of Killer Clowns, because of Predator, because of Friday the 13th. Here's what I'll say. Here's my take on it. Friday the 13th, it was 50-50. They definitely could have kept the servers going. It was reaching peak levels like years after it dropped, and even though there was no content coming, people were still enjoying the game. I personally think it's one of the greatest asymmetrical horror games of all time. It may be the greatest because of its peak. But they couldn't control the lawsuit, and it was a messy situation. Texas Chainsaw, though, I never was a fan of it. I like the idea of a Texas Chainsaw game. I just wish they copied and pasted some stuff from F13. So their partnership with Sumo was it was a weird one for me to really navigate, but I kind of get it. They had to do something different. So like I said, I like the premise of it. I definitely enjoy the what was that DLC they did? It was the DLC with Johnny. The sorority house DLC. I enjoyed that a lot, but I understand the discourse behind Texas Chainsaw. With that being said, I'm still one of those believers of Gun Interactive. Because at the end of the day, I really see they are horror fans to the core. And I truly believe this is one of 2 IPs they wanted to really get their hands on. I trust them with Halloween. It's a lot of Friday the 13th elements in this game. Maybe they took some Texas Chainsaw elements and put it in this game. And I think this could be an asymmetrical horror game that has a similar lifespan of Friday the 13th, or can actually stand on its 2 feet. Another thing I'll add, in terms of customization and licensing and stuff, I think it should be easier for them to get licensing for things like different versions of Michael, different maps, character additions, because the Halloween rights have always been under the Akkad family. Like, no matter who gets the rights to Halloween, you gotta listen to the Akkads. And with them signing off on this game, and you got people like Carpenter working on the soundtrack and the direction of this game as well, we have an opportunity to have something fully fleshed out. So I'm excited for this. Hopefully I work hard enough to where Gun reaches out to me, notices me, and I can get my hands on this for y'all at a quicker date so I can give my opinions on this game. This is something that'll come to the channel. Let me know if y'all want to see something fully fleshed out on this channel. But until then, September 8th, pre-downloaded. Not pre-down. I wish I could pre-download it. Nah, pre-order it. But also, if you're cautious about it, also definitely just wait till more news drops, because they did say they were gonna drop character progressions and traits and customization, which a lot of gamers, they love customization. So we gonna have to see what y'all do in the customization things, but I'm there day one. Okay. That being said, though, it's been your boy JustDorien. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this reaction, and y'all know what I'm gonna say. Leave a like, comment, subscribe for more, and as always, my friends, continue to love like Jesus. Peace out.